Hello, welcome to this week's How's the Market, Pensacola. Well, it's Thanksgiving week. It is Thanksgiving week. We've got turkeys coming on. Apparently the CDC is saying that we shouldn't be traveling right now. So I wonder how this is going to be a little different this year. I know that I usually have everybody over at the house myself, and looks like most of the family is not attending this year. Kind of sad. And other sad news, I actually read this morning, it looks like homeowners insurance is going to go up. The Florida insurance commissioner has already approved about 100 different companies with a 30% rate hike, and that was all from Hurricane Michael and Hurricane Irma. We haven't even got to Hurricane Sally or what the rest of Florida took in 2020. So I would suspect that insurance is going to be on the rise. Some companies I've seen are actually at 50% higher. Someone was spending $1,500 a year last year is now $2,250. So I say all that to say this: make sure you check your insurance company frequently. Shop every year, even if your mortgage company is making the payment. So if you've escrowed, make sure that you shop so that you're not overspending for stuff, because some of these companies are going to go higher to help try and offset some of the cost. Also in the article I read, and I'll put the article in the show notes, was that people are filing fraudulent claims. There are some companies out there, Central South Florida. We even see them up here. They will get assignments of interest for an insurance claim, meaning that they can negotiate directly with the insurance company, get the insurance company to pay, and then for some reason not necessarily do the work. The article that I'll put in the link talked about one company who did that and said, well, it was COVID-19 that stopped us and delayed us from doing the work, but we plan on still doing the work. And after the investigative reporting, I don't know, whatever. After the investigation happened, they finally all of a sudden went out and replaced these people's roofs, but they've been paid for it since March, April, May. So doing it in November, it's a little behind in my mind. Anyways, pay attention to that. Pay attention to your insurance. Take a look at that quite frequently. All right, let's look at the real estate here. And boy, this is the first time I've ever seen this. Let's go. All right, for those of you who have never seen the show, I always start the show off with this slide. If we have between 6 and 7 months worth of inventory, we have a neutral market. Anything greater than 7 months worth of inventory is considered a buyer's market. Anything less than 6 months considered a seller's market. What the slide does not say: anything greater than 9 months is considered a hyper buyer's market. Anything less than 3 is considered a hyper seller's market. And that's going to play a big factor in today's show. We're starting off with Escambia County, and if you look, everything under $550,000 is a hyper sellers. If you've never seen the show before, over here on the left is the actual price point. On the right is your month's inventory. That's why I start off with that other slide. So everything under $550,000 is a hyper sellers. $550 to $600 goes to a sellers based on our definition. And then $600 to $650 drops back down to a hyper sellers. And $650 plus is back to just a sellers, not a hyper sellers, but it's very close. Remember, anything under 3 months is considered a hyper sellers market. These are at 3.6, 3.7. Here's what I was talking about I have never seen. Santa Rosa County. The entire county now is a hyper sellers market. Some of this is seasonality, because there's times that people pull houses off of the market, lowering inventory during the holidays. I get that. I expected to see seasonality. Some of this is COVID. Some of this is low mortgage rates. So as soon as something comes on, there's just such a high demand. You've got really low supply, high demand. Something comes on, it gets gobbled up fairly quickly. So I have never seen a county in all my years doing this, and I started working in real estate in 93, real estate and finance in 93. So I've been doing it a bit. I've never seen a hyper seller's market in an entire county. Even during the boom, there was always different price points that were buyer's market or neutral market, or at least a seller's market, but not a hyper seller's market. And again, I'm cautious about these 100 to 250, because the 100 to 150,000 is under a half month's inventory. 150 to 200,000 under a half month's inventory. These scare me because these are our first time home buyers. We don't have any inventory. The builders are trying to make up for it. And I'm seeing the off-market deals, which I need you to pay attention to. If you have not gone over to the Facebook page, I did a post last week talking about real estate fraud. Get over there at shanewillis.com / well, hang on. That would be my website, shanewillis.com. Let's try the Facebook page. Facebook.com / Shane Willis, the Realtor. Get over there and take a look at that. And scroll down and see the one. I put the fraud symbol up, real estate fraud symbol up. And I actually told a story about how I am involved in a deal right now that I'm buying off market. It was from a wholesaler, and I can go into what a wholesaler does, but not on this show. I'm buying a deal from a wholesaler to be my next flip. It's my next flip project. There's quite a bit of money going to be needed to put in this, but it's a good project all the way around. Well, come to find out, there's some legal issues. There are some legal issues. The seller had no idea. That's what makes me nervous. You start getting a lot of these off-market deals, and you can get some title companies that just sign off on things. Nobody's willing to take a look at it. That's what scares me. I've had 3 clients call me recently saying, hey, I have got a deal I want to put together. I've already got a buyer. Can you make sure everything's covered and let me use your network, and will you charge me a reduced fee for that? Absolutely. I do that all the time. It's almost like a review fee. Cool. I review, everything's taken care of. The one case I'm talking about right now, if we had actually closed the title company, it would have come back to bite me. I promise it would have, because I don't know that they're the legal readiness to actually sell the property. I don't know that they have the legal ability to. I think that they're going to with the proper steps, but that's why I have a real estate team that includes a lawyer that takes a look at things. So pay attention to what's going on. There was an article last Sunday, the Pensacola News Journal, about a guy here in Pace who sold a property in Perdido Key that he did not own. Walked away with $560,000 before he was arrested. Now, I don't know how much of that money the buyer is going to get back, but he didn't own the place. So as we start to see off-market deals happen more and more and more, I get concerned, because in real estate, there's so many moving parts that it's not hard to commit fraud, especially if you don't know what you're looking for. Now, and I said in the article, and you should go read it over on the Facebook page, I said, hey, I don't think the seller's intentionally trying to commit fraud. I don't think the wholesaler's intentionally trying to commit fraud. I think this is something that I have surprised everyone when I go digging and showing, hey, we've got to fix this, and here's how we have to fix this. But you can't do that unless you know what to look for. So be careful you go off market. Right now, on market, it's tough to find stuff. It is tough to find stuff. Off market, just be careful. There are serious issues, and people are like, well, I've got a couple of off market deals that some of my clients wanted to do, and as soon as the seller found out I was getting involved, they no longer wanted to do it. That raises all kinds of red flags. If you're not willing to look at a professional and say, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, what are you hiding? What are you hiding? State of Florida is a disclosure state. And what does that mean? That means that the law says anything that materially impacts the value of the property must be disclosed. If I ask questions and you tell me I don't know and you're lying, you are breaking the law, and it can come back to bite you. I've seen too many people pay too many fines. I've seen some people go to jail. Over this. So when I ask tough questions for my clients, both seller, buyer, both, it's because I want to make sure everything is covered. That's all. And when we start getting inventory like you're looking at right now, you have to make sure that's all covered. You just have to. So anyways, it was a little deeper conversation than I thought it was going to go to today, but hey, it's Thanksgiving. I want people to make sure if they're looking at picking something up over the next month or so that they're protected. That's all. That's all I'm trying to do. Here are the numbers this week. Man, as sellers, you can push the market a little bit. As buyers, just be prepared to offer what needs to be offered to pick up the property that you absolutely want. All right. Thanks for watching. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a great week. I'm a man on a mission. My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there, and
Don't need no permission.
I want to help you get to actual truth. Don't you just want the truth?